Hi, this is Group 2. I'm Dakota Fox, along with Anna Alonso, Luke Ringler, Janelle Morissette, and Robin Wilson will be presenting to you our ideas today on how financial literacy is going to be helping community banks and credit unions rebuild their momentum in a post-pandemic world. So, what's our idea on how community banks and credit unions can rebuild their momentum in a post-pandemic world? Well, our idea includes implementing financial literacy help add-ons into modern banking apps. So our discussion with our banker, Mr. John McNair, CEO of the Community Bankers Association, also known as the CBA, he discussed with us the fact of there being a lack of education in financial literacy. Throughout the PowerPoint, we're going to describe the importance of financial literacy to the communities. So because of the lack of financial literacy among the communities, the major focus of the CBA is to talk to customers to better understand finance as a whole. And through the discussion, we asked what kind of features banking apps could have that would appeal to Gen Z. And a key feature was some kind of an app that would explain basic financial information such as compound interest, how 401ks work, and other simple features. So, our idea, we decided to focus on adding that feature to banking apps to help empower people in order to help them make more educated choices with their finances. So yeah. Big whoop. We're adding an add-on for an app. How's that some off-the-wall concept? Well, in reality, it's not an off-the-wall concept. It's a simple concept because we want people to simply understand financial literacy, to simply have financial literacy. So many people grew up using Microsoft Word or similar Office products, and they might remember a friendly little guy who would sit on the top of their screen and it would give little tips and tidbits of knowledge to help better your document. Your paperclip buddy. So our thought was to add a friendly reminder like the paperclip to Gen Z's banking apps to assist them in knowing what certain transactions or operations would do for their finances, thus educating the user with financial literacy and making informed decisions. And like we stated earlier, that could be anywhere from how 401ks work, compound interest, etc. So having this little helper for people to understand simple financial information will increase the knowledge of the user and leave room for educated bankers to assist on larger scale financial guidance. To understand why financial literacy is important, we're going to shift things over to Anna Alonso.
Thanks, Cora. I'm going to be going a little bit over the importance of financial literacy. So each day, technology is advancing, and more spending instruments are becoming available in today's world. And some examples of these spending instruments are debit, credit cards, mobile, and electronic payments. And as more spending instruments become available, the more complicated money management becomes. And this can be a little overwhelming for consumers, especially consumers with a low financial literacy. Now, in the US, there are about 7.1 million American households who are unbanked. And a reason why these consumers are unbanked are because they have either a poor credit history or they have a lack of understanding about how the banking system works. It can also be because they have a limited or unstable income. Now, only 17% of unbanked households own a home, and only 20% of unbanked individuals hold at least one credit card. And next, I'm going to be talking about the benefits of financial literacy. So the benefits of financial literacy. So financial literacy can increase financial inclusion. So people with a higher level of financial education tend to make better financial decisions, and they tend to be more aware of the opportunities and services other banks may offer. Now, this can benefit banks. Usually a person that has a higher level of financial education tend to pay off their bills on time, and they pay off their loans, which result in lower default rates for the banks. They also tend to invest, so they take advantage of these services that their bank may provide, such as retirement accounts and college savings plans. So people that have a higher financial literacy tend to be more involved in these opportunities and services that their banks may provide. Now I'm going to pass it off to Luke. Luke is going to go over more into detail about the importance of financial literacy.
Thanks, Luke. Financial literacy is one of the largest challenges faced by adults today that inhibit workplace performance. It has been determined that people who are more financially literate are better able to handle their finances, which helps reduce the amount of financial stress that weighs on the everyday worker. More companies should partner with banks who offer literacy programs in order to incentivize their workers to financially liberate themselves. An incentive may be needed to inspire people to start using the financial literacy benefits. This might take the form of points that can be accumulated and used in local businesses in the area, which will broaden the horizon for small businesses in the local area as well. Helping the people we serve locally will help the community in the long run, and the benefits and functions of local banks can be more thoroughly used. After I found out that Georgia ranks 29th on the financial literacy scale for the U.S., from Wallet Hub's 2018 survey, I decided to check for myself how to find information for my own bank. As you can imagine, I found nothing of importance short of contact information and a simple fact page. What we think would help the average bank customer is something simple and easy to use, perhaps something similar to the paperclip helper adopted by Microsoft in the late 1990s. The paperclip of the banking industry will need to be user-friendly, something that the likes of Apple users would appreciate. Eventually, we will look on the data provided by these services to be able to isolate and further develop what customers really need. Our vision is that there will be a separate tab on the bank's main menu that will open into an area in which videos are kept and courses are offered. This will help people to understand their banking and different functions they can perform. Sometimes explaining how something is performed can help people understand exactly what happens when they push that send button on the money that they transfer to their friend. And now here's to our final group member, Robin Wilson.
The negatives. There is a need to learn about financial institutions and how they work. Financial literacy is not taught universally across all schools, so by teaching consumers how they work, they're more likely to use them. This will build trust in the financial system that the underbanked and unbanked often do not have. Places such as payday and title loans show fees up front and seem very clear, but they have hidden fees. Banks, however, they use legal language which is harder to understand. So if we change this and we had information that was easy to understand and had information out there, consumers would feel like these services are more accessible. Knowing more about one's finance can help them make smart decisions. So this can impact their credit score, if they bounce checks. This can influence a lot of things. Technology can expand banking services to underbanked, but it can also create a larger divide. People who have internet, they can learn from these apps and they can thrive with their finances with their newfound information. People who do not have internet, however, will be left behind ultimately. Our idea can be implemented even in the physical world by having the same information and documents that banks can hand out to their customers whenever they come in. Banks can lead inclusivity by providing these information so individuals can succeed. This may even encourage consumers to come and get personalized financial advisors to help their services.
So, as you can see, the key to rebuilding the momentum in a post-pandemic world for community banks and credit unions is by increasing financial literacy. And as you can see, that can be done through adding finance and bank using tutorials and the paperclip of the banking industry. This was Group 2, and we thank you for your time and the opportunity for this project. Thank you.